It's been fun, but see you soon.
That was just a few hours ago. Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst calling an end to the special session, but leaving us with a hint this morning that it might not be over. There may be another round. This after state senators were unable to pass new abortion restrictions in Texas.
Well, there was a lot of confusion overnight about whether the bill made deadline. We heard from protesters screaming down lawmakers in the final 15 minutes before the special legislative session deadline of midnight. More than 400 protesters erupted at 11:45 p.m. when Republicans suspended an 11-hour filibuster by Democratic State Senator Wendy Davis of Fort Worth. And our political reporter Josh Hinkle joins us this morning with what this all means and what happens next. Josh, thanks for being here. You were at the Capitol all day yesterday and all through the night. Kind of set the scene for us around that midnight hour.
And this morning, too.
Yeah.
And this morning.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we were there since 11 o'clock this yesterday morning, and it did go for a really long time. And, you know, you really got to feel for Wendy Davis right there, because she stood up the entire time. She can't go to the bathroom. She can't go get anything to eat, anything like that, you know, standing on her feet the whole time, talking, nothing but talking. So that's pretty much what people were wanting to see. You had thousands of people coming to the Senate so they could get in on the gallery, you know, one at a time. One person goes in, one person comes out, so they could actually see this big show, essentially, is what it was.
There was a big show of critics of the bill. What about supporters? Did you see people there supporting it?
Well, honestly, Sally, if you were there, the supporters of Davis really did outweigh the support we saw for the actual legislation, the abortion legislation, but they were there as well. You know, we talked to some pro-life groups that, you know, not only did they want to maybe see fewer abortions in Texas, but they feel that this legislation was really about the safety of women and children as well. And of course, Republicans were there in full force and really trying to get this thing pushed through. We even had one Democrat, Senator Eddie Lucio, who was in support of the bill, especially in the early stages.
And it's not often we see this passionate and this vocal of a gallery. How was security during it all?
Yeah, I mean, security was pretty ramped up. They had to bring in some more troopers. I mean, it got really loud and packed in there. You're seeing right there, that's just the rotunda, and people, it was so loud and crowded in there, even people pushing, kind of shoving. Some of the things they did, like I said, they brought troopers in, and they actually had to take people out of the gallery because they were being so noisy and kind of disrupting a lot of what was happening there, even though that was their point for some of them. We did see a lot of House members actually coming over, either into the Senate or into the rotunda, actually kind of calming people down a little bit and telling them what's going on, so, you know, maybe they weren't so boisterous about everything for the rest of the time that this was going on.
All right, Josh, we appreciate you staying up late with us, and we'll talk to you a little bit about where we go from here coming up as well.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right.
So this is what Josh was talking about, right? Supporters watching in the Senate gallery chanting, "Let her speak." Well, Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst announced Davis reached her third violation and ended the filibuster. Dewhurst had a tough time getting everyone to quiet down, and that's when state troopers forced people to leave the chamber. Thousands of supporters filled the Capitol rotunda and continued chanting. It was so loud, lawmakers could not hear each other inside the chamber.
Well, I think it's important for my daughters to see politics in action and to show that we live in a free country, and if you don't like something the government's doing, you can go right to the door of the government to tell them that. And also, I have two daughters, and I want them to have freedom of choice as they grow up.
There are thousands of us here, and we're here, we're making a stand. We are saying that we're not just going to lie down and let them pass this through like so much of the reproductive legislation often does.
And I'll tell you what, they may be able to turn off a microphone, they may be able to act like they can't hear us when we're calling them out on what they're doing, but let me tell you, tonight they heard your voices.
Outside the Capitol, there was one arrest. We got video of that for you there, but the protests remained peaceful otherwise.
Well, the governor first called a special session so lawmakers could tackle new voting maps. He then added abortion, transportation, and new sentencing rules for juveniles to the list. Both the House and Senate passed the redistricting bill, but the Senate filibuster over tougher abortion rules stalled the other items. So those issues could come back if the governor calls another special session.